After my fiancée swore her ex just needed closure, I exposed their affair, emptied our apartment, and left her screaming in an empty closet. So let me paint the picture real quick. I'm 25, male, a software developer who spends too much time debugging other people's shitty code, and not enough time debugging my own life choices. Up until a few months ago, I was engaged to my girlfriend, 25, female, Ava, who has now officially earned her spot in the Psycho X Hall of Fame. We met at my buddy Kai's housewarming party 3.5 years ago. Ava walked in wearing this tight black dress, caught me staring and made a beeline right to me. We exchanged numbers after some drinks and flirty banter. Classic meet cute, right? I remember thinking I was so damn smooth that night. Just another clueless dude about to step into a minefield without realizing it. She laughed at my terrible jokes and somehow made me feel like the coolest guy in the room. Fast forward 3 years, we're engaged, living together in a decent apartment downtown, and supposed to get married this summer. The wedding invitations were already out. Venue booked. The whole 9 yards. Ava was fun, outgoing, and hot enough to turn heads. She could dress well and actually hold a normal conversation. But holy shit, did she have issues hiding under that perfect Instagram facade. Those first 2 years were honestly pretty good. We'd go hiking on weekends, have movie marathons, and she'd bring me lunch at the office sometimes. She was super creative too, always planning elaborate date nights and surprising me with concert tickets. She was the first person who seemed to really get my weird sense of humor. But as we got closer to the wedding date, things started changing in ways I couldn't ignore. She'd get weird about guy friends calling me to hang out. Who was that? Why are they calling so late? It's 8:30 p.m. for God's sake. Why can't they text like normal people? And heaven forbid I wanted to go to a bachelor party or gaming night. 20 questions guaranteed. Meanwhile, her girls' nights were supposedly sacred. Questioning them meant I was controlling. The early warning signs were there, just like they always are. The way she'd talk about her ex, Leo, all crazy or obsessed with her, or couldn't get over her. I should have seen the red flags, but hey, I was 22 and she was hot. Not exactly the age of peak judgment. Our apartment was always weirdly tense. If I was texting anyone, "Who's that?" became her catchphrase. She'd casually walk behind me while I was on my phone, not even trying to hide that she was reading over my shoulder. What really gets me now is how much of my own identity I let slide. I used to play in a garage band on weekends. That stopped because rehearsals were taking away from our time together. I had a weekly basketball game with college buddies. Somehow those guys became bad influences who didn't respect our relationship. Classic isolation tactics, and I fell for every single one. I can't believe I was planning to marry someone who tried to isolate me from everything and everyone. The constant feeling of having to explain myself, justify normal friendships, and prove my loyalty over and over was exhausting. And for what? So she could turn around and do exactly what she was accusing me of? But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's a lot coming. On top of all the controlling behavior I mentioned, the biggest red flag was her absolutely psychotic insecurity about Evelyn. Now, I should explain. Evelyn used to be Ava's close friend back in college. Same sorority, same friend group, same classes. Then they had some nuclear-level falling out that Ava would never fully explain, just vague stuff like Evelyn was fake, couldn't be trusted, and a backstabbing bitch. When I asked for details, she'd say, "Evelyn always wanted what I had." Real mature. Here's the thing, though. Evelyn was legitimately gorgeous, could have been a model, chose engineering instead, and Ava, while also attractive, was constantly comparing herself. She'd sneer at Evelyn's posts. "Oh look, another filtered selfie from Miss Perfect," or "Bet she's fishing for validation from guys again." The jealousy was embarrassing to witness, and the whole time I'm thinking, damn, who hurt you? Every time Evelyn posted anything, Ava would somehow find it within minutes. Didn't matter if she wasn't tagged or if it was on a platform she rarely used. She had some kind of supernatural Evelyn radar. I'd watch her face change mid-conversation as she checked a notification and I'd think, here we go again. Evelyn breathed oxygen somewhere in the city and now our evening is ruined. The pettiness reached peak levels. Once Evelyn posted about getting a promotion at her engineering firm. Ava spent the entire night scrolling job listings and updating her LinkedIn. Another time Evelyn cut her hair into a bob, and suddenly Ava needed an emergency appointment with her stylist. I tried to stay neutral in this whole situation. Now you might ask how I even knew Evelyn. We'd been in the same computer science program in college. We weren't close, but we teamed up for a couple of group projects. She was cool, easy to talk to. We remained casual friends, but I never gave Ava a reason to be suspicious. I respected her feelings and kept a healthy distance from Evelyn. Yeah, I know. I was whipped. Call it what it is. The only times I'd run into Evelyn were at industry events or mutual friend gatherings, and even those were major diplomatic incidents requiring pre-approval, real-time updates, and post-event debriefings. Did she talk to you? What did she say? Did she ask about me? Was she with anyone? 20 questions minimum. Every time I had to recount every interaction in excruciating detail like I was testifying before Congress. Ava's jealousy got more unhinged as the wedding approached. She'd check my phone when I was in the shower, then claim she was just checking the time. She'd question me if I was even in the same group chat as Evelyn. One time she found an old photo of Evelyn and me at a coding hackathon from before I even met Ava, where we weren't even touching, and she didn't speak to me for 2 days. 2 days over a picture from 3 years earlier. I brushed it off. Man, I thought, that's some female thing. Girls get jealous, girls get hormonal. She might be overthinking and anxiously insecure. Every time I excused her behavior, my friends started noticing. They'd give me concerned looks when Ava interrogated me about who else was coming to a hangout. They'd text me privately, "You okay, man? Or is everything cool with you and Ava?" I'd brush it off, make some joke about women with a coffee emoji like everything was fine, because admitting something was wrong meant admitting I'd gotten myself into a toxic relationship. It was exhausting, but I was in love and figured we'd work through it. Classic mistake, am I right? That's the thing about red flags. They just look like regular flags when you're wearing rose-colored glasses. The Evelyn obsession should have been my exit cue. Normal people don't fixate on someone they claim to hate for years. Normal people don't police their partner's casual interactions with someone they barely see. But the real kicker? All that jealousy and suspicion was just smoke and mirrors, a classic case of projection that I couldn't see through earlier. What I didn't realize was that Ava's obsession with Evelyn was just a smokescreen for her own sketchy-as-hell behavior. Textbook projection. So here's where things get suspicious. About 3 months before our wedding date, Ava started acting so freaking weird. She pulled the team happy hour card at least 4 times that month, and every time it ended the same: late night return, perfect makeup, not a single photo with coworkers. Always some excuse about forgot to post or left early. It was stacking up. These happy hours always seemed to fall on days when she'd put extra effort into her appearance. Hair done just right, outfit carefully selected, makeup that would definitely last through an apocalypse. I noticed other sketchy patterns too. Her work friends, who she claimed to be out with, almost never appeared in her Instagram stories from those nights. And when I'd casually mention something like Jess said something funny at happy hour, she'd get this deer in headlights look before, quickly recovering with some vague, "Oh yeah, Jess was hilarious last night." Never any specifics, never any stories. And the phone thing, don't get me started. Suddenly, it was always face down, password changed from our anniversary to something new. I'd catch her texting under the table during dinner or suddenly needing the bathroom when her phone buzzed. One time I walked in while she was showering, and she had her phone in a Ziploc bag on the shower caddy. A Ziploc bag. Who does that unless they're expecting a call they absolutely can't miss? And before you ask, yeah, she freaked out about me invading her privacy by entering the bathroom without knocking, the same bathroom she'd regularly barge into when I was using it. I'm not a jealous guy by nature, not insecure, unlike some people in this relationship. But even I'm not dumb enough to miss these moves. Still, I kept telling myself I was paranoid, that this was just Ava being Ava. I trusted her. Despite all the bullshit with Evelyn, despite the controlling behavior, I genuinely believed she loved me. Every time those suspicious thoughts crept in, I'd push them away. She's probably just stressed about the wedding. Maybe her coworkers are just bad at taking photos. I was the king of making excuses for her, the undisputed champion of ignoring the obvious. Then came the night that blew everything up. Ava had gone out with some girls, which somehow required her tightest dress and highest heels. Whatever. I was home destroying kids in Call of Duty when her iPad lit up on the coffee table. The notification preview was short but nuclear. "Leo, last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again." I knew we'd end up together again. My brain blue-screened for a second. Leo. The Leo. Her ex-boyfriend from before we met. The supposedly toxic douchebag she claimed was completely out of her life. The same guy she'd use as her go-to example of why she had trust issues. Freaking Leo. I just sat there staring at the notification. Controller forgotten in my hands. Game character getting absolutely wrecked on screen. That moment when everything clicks. All the late nights, the mysterious happy hours, the defensive behavior. It's like getting punched in the gut while simultaneously having an epiphany. I picked up the iPad. We knew each other's passcodes. Her idea, back when she was trying to prove she had nothing to hide. She'd changed the phone passcode but totally forgot the iPad still had the old one. So I opened messages, half hoping there'd be some innocent explanation. Nope. What I found was weeks of texts between them. Detailed plans for meetups, sexting, explicit photos I really wish I could unsee. But the real knife twist, the jokes about me, about how I had no clue, how I was the safe choice, how she was just settling with me because I was stable while Leo was her real passion. I scrolled through message after message. There were even texts from just a few hours earlier. Ava, I told Nate I'm at happy hour with the office. Meet at our usual spot in 20. Leo, already here with a drink waiting for you. Their usual spot. They had a usual spot. I sat there staring like I was watching someone else's life fall apart. My hands were shaking. My future, everything I'd planned, the house we were saving for, the kids we talked about, the goddamn wedding I'd been paying for, was imploding right in front of me. I just kept scrolling, unable to stop, like picking at a scab. Messages going back over 2 months. Plans they'd made, times they'd met up while I was at work at the gym, or hanging out with friends thinking I was giving her space, all while she'd make me feel guilty if I was 5 minutes late texting her back. But instead of the rage I expected, I was calm, like when your car starts sliding on ice and you realize there's nothing you can do but ride it out. In that moment, everything became crystal clear. She had a second relationship on top of a wedding plan with me footing the bill. She lied to my face for weeks. She made fun of me to him. She was planning to marry me while seeing this dude on the side, and all while treating me like a potential cheater for occasionally being in the same zip code as Evelyn. That's when I decided. No dramatic confrontation, no tears, no begging for explanations, no smashing plates. That's what she'd expect, and she'd use it to paint me as the crazy, controlling boyfriend. Instead, I was going to disappear from her life so completely that it would break her. Because people like Ava need to learn there are consequences, and I was about to become those consequences. I put the iPad down and took a deep breath. My mind shifted into programmer mode. Methodical, logical, step-by-step problem solving. I grabbed my laptop and started making lists, things to cancel, accounts to separate, items to move, people to contact. It was like my brain had entered survival mode where emotions got compartmentalized to deal with later. I took screenshots of everything and emailed them to myself. Over the next few days, I went full DiCaprio-level method actor. I still kissed Ava goodbye in the mornings, while imagining I was kissing a snake. Still asked about her day, while wondering if she was with him, still planned wedding details with her. Honey, do you think the bridesmaids should wear blue or purple? While she was seeing her ex, she had absolutely no clue I knew. Oscar-worthy performance on my part. It was wild watching her lie to my face every day. How was work? I'd ask, knowing damn well she'd left early to meet Leo. Oh, so busy, she'd reply, spinning some elaborate tale about a project crisis. During that week, I'd excuse myself to work late or meet the guys and instead dismantle our future like a bomb disposal expert. I called the venue, explained the situation, and surprisingly got most of our deposit back. Same with the caterer, florist, DJ. Most vendors have seen this before. One lady at the bakery even gave me a free cupcake and told me her ex-husband did the same thing. Then I contacted my groomsmen in a private Discord channel I named The Wedding is Dead. I told them the unfiltered truth. These guys had my back immediately. Pete even offered to, and I quote, break his kneecaps, which I declined. I'm not trying to go to prison over this jerk. My best man Trey came over that night with sodas and helped me strategize, like we were plotting a heist. Finding a new place was tricky on short notice, but I got lucky. I found a new apartment across town. More expensive, but with better security and an in-building gym. Silver linings. I signed the lease on my lunch break and paid the deposit with what would have been our honeymoon fund. Sorry, Cancun. Every time I signed a document for the new place, I felt another piece of freedom clicking into place. The best part? Our current apartment was actually in my name only. When we first moved in, Ava had credit issues, 3 maxed out cards and 0 impulse control. So I took the lease alone, with her promising to pay half. That meant legally I could do whatever I wanted with it. While browsing furniture for my new place, I had a revelation about what to do with the apartment. Ava was banking on us getting a place together after the wedding. She'd even started sending me listings. She had no backup plan, no savings, and now she'd have no apartment. So I called up my buddy Milo. Milo's a personal trainer type, super chill dude who'd recently broken up with his girlfriend and needed a place. I explained the situation over drinks, and he was immediately on board. The conversation went something like, "Dude, she cheated on you?" "Yup. With her ex." "That's fucked up." Long pause. "I'm in. When do I move in?" "Friday." "Perfect. As simple as that." I spent the next few days quietly packing my essential items and moving them to my brother's garage. Nothing obvious, just enough that Ava wouldn't notice things missing. The day I chose for everything to go down was when Ava had plans to visit her parents for the weekend, some family birthday thing she couldn't miss. As soon as she left Friday morning with a nauseating "I'll miss you" baby text that made me want to vomit, I executed the final phase. I called in reinforcements, 5 friends with 2 pickup trucks, and we moved every single one of my possessions out in one carefully orchestrated day. Hours of labor. I took only what was mine, documented everything with photos in case she tried to claim I stole her stuff, but I made sure to leave some choice items behind. A framed printout of her texts with Leo on her pillow, classy touch, if I do say so myself. The wedding invitation with "canceled due to cheating" stamped across it in big red letters. An empty ring box on the kitchen counter. I'd already sold the ring to a pawn shop, got enough to upgrade my gaming PC. So thanks for that. And my personal favorite, a USB stick labeled wedding video that actually contained a 10-second clip of me giving the middle finger. Petty? Maybe. Worth it? Absolutely. Then I gave Milo the keys. He moved in immediately, transforming what had been our shared space into his bachelor pad within hours. Weight bench in the living room, protein powder all over the kitchen, workout schedule on the fridge where our wedding planning calendar used to be, massive live laugh lift poster where our engagement photos once hung. Then I blocked Ava on all social media, ordered enough Chinese food for 3 people, and enjoyed my first night of freedom in my new place. And then I waited, like a hunter in a blind. Sunday evening came. I was relaxing in my new place, feet up on my new coffee table, no one bitching about coasters, playing God of War at maximum volume, when my phone exploded with notifications. The Ava-apocalypse had begun. "Ava, what the actual fuck is going on? There's some guy in our apartment. Ava, where is all your stuff? Ava, Nate, answer me right now." I watched the notifications pile up, sipping a beer, I know, basic, feeling strangely peaceful, like watching a hurricane from a safe distance. Part of me wanted to reply, "Sorry new phone who dis," but I stayed strong in my silence. The notifications kept coming, each one more desperate. "Ava, I'm calling the police. Is this some kind of joke? Please tell me what's happening." Then suddenly, "Baby, please answer me. I'm freaking out." I silenced my phone and went back to my game. The satisfaction of watching her panic was honestly better than any boss fight. Then she started calling. Over and over. That woman hit redial more times than a telemarketer on commission day. I declined each one, then finally blocked her number entirely. The silence was glorious. About an hour later, Milo called me. He was trying not to laugh, but failing miserably. "Dude, she's absolutely losing her shit. She came in screaming about how this is her apartment and who the fuck am I. I showed her the lease with just your name on it and the rental agreement you signed with me. Her face went through like 5 different emotions in 2 seconds. Then I swear to God she literally fell to her knees in the living room like she was in some bad movie. I could hear the commotion in the background, Ava's distinctive wail cutting through what sounded like Milo's workout playlist. Part of me felt a tiny twinge of guilt, but it dissolved faster than Alka-Seltzer when I remembered how she'd laughed with Leo about me being clueless. "Tell me more," I said, cracking open another beer. This was better than Netflix. She kept saying there's been a mistake, that you guys are getting married. Then she saw the framed texts and just collapsed, total meltdown mode. Started ugly crying, mascara everywhere. Then she saw the empty ring box and lost it all over again. Milo continued, clearly enjoying his role in this drama. "She keeps trying to call you. When she couldn't get through, she demanded I tell her where you are. I said I just rent the place. What's she doing now? She left about 10 minutes ago screaming that she'd find you and fix this. Direct quote, "He can't do this to me. Might want to watch your back, man." She had that crazy look in her eyes. The crazy look. I knew it well. It was the same look she'd get when she saw a notification on my phone she couldn't immediately identify. Ava's "someone is challenging my reality" face. It usually preceded spectacularly irrational behavior. I wasn't worried. I'd already warned security at my office that my psycho ex might show up. I'd told my new apartment building not to let anyone up without my permission. I'd changed all my passwords. I'd thought of everything, because I know how persistent crazy can be. True to form, not even 20 minutes after Milo's call, my phone lit up with messages from 3 different friends. Apparently, Ava was on a warpath, calling everyone we knew, demanding to know where I was. When that didn't work, she started showing up at their houses. My buddy Kai texted me a video of her pounding on his door at 11 p.m., screaming my name. She was going nuclear and everyone was getting fallout. Sure enough, Ava showed up at my office the next morning at 9:15 a.m. Sharp, according to my CO worker Jess, who gave me a heads up. "Jess, heads up, your girl is in the lobby losing her mind." "Jess, did you really cancel the wedding? What happened?" "Jess, wait, NVM, she's screaming about it for everyone to hear." I texted back a quick long story, "tell you later," and braced myself. I could have hidden all day, but that felt cowardly. Better to face this head on and be done with it. Security stopped her in the lobby, but I could hear her. "Nate, I know you're up there. You can't do this to me. We're getting married." I came down. My desk wasn't stocked with enough food for a siege, so I decided to end this once and for all. "Well, Ava, what are you doing here?" Her tone immediately shifted. She tried to hug me, face switching so fast. "Baby, there's been a huge misunderstanding. Please, can we just talk?" The transformation was jarring. This woman should win an Emmy for flipping emotional states on command. 1 second banshee, next second tearful vulnerability. I wasn't buying it anymore. "No misunderstanding. I saw your texts with Leo. All of them." Her face dropped faster than my respect for her. Then came the waterworks. Right on cue. Classic Ava, always ready with tears when logic failed. "It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Leo means nothing to me. You're the one I love." I just looked at her, feeling nothing but disgust and a small bit of pity. This pathetic performance was so predictable it was almost boring. "We're done. The wedding is canceled. The apartment is no longer your home. Don't contact me again." "Where am I supposed to go?" she screeched, mascara looking like a raccoon having a mental breakdown. I shrugged. "Maybe Leo has space. Or were you just a good time to him too? Bet he's not answering your calls either now that you're not forbidden fruit anymore." That hit a nerve. That's when she tried to slap me, in front of security and about 15 CO workers pretending not to watch. I caught her arm and looked her dead in the eyes. "Don't you dare. Get out before I have you dragged out of the building myself." Security escorted her out while she yapped about how I'd ruined her life and how I'd regret this. Classic projection. But all I could think was, "No, Ava, you did that all by yourself when you decided your vows would have an asterisk next to them." I turned around to see my entire office staring. Jim from accounting slow clapped. Someone else whistled. My boss just nodded and said, "Take the day if you need it." A couple weeks went by. I was settling into my new life, focusing on work, hitting the gym more. Amazing how much free time you have when you're not managing someone else's insecurities, and actually enjoying life. My fridge was full of leftover pizza and nobody complained when I played video games until 3 a.m., living the dream. The constant barrage of texts from random numbers, Ava using friends' phones, had finally slowed to a trickle. She'd attempted to create new social media accounts to message me, blocked those too. She even sent a freaking edible arrangement to my office with a card begging for another chance. I shared the chocolate-covered strawberries with my CO workers and tossed the card without reading it. Free food is free food. My new place was starting to feel like home. No pink throw pillows, no scented candles that gave me headaches, no live laugh love crap on the walls. Just my gaming setup, comfortable furniture, and blessed silence. I'd forgotten what it was like to exist without someone constantly demanding attention and validation. Turns out it's pretty sweet. The initial wave of questions from friends and family had mostly passed. Most people get bored with your drama after the first week. That's just human nature. I still got the occasional checking-in text from mutual friends, which I appreciated. Ava had apparently told some people I was having a mental breakdown and abandoned her for no reason. A few believed her, but most saw through it, especially after she got drunk at a party and started crying about how I took everything from her. But wait, it didn't end here. Things actually got more heated. Remember Evelyn, the hot chick Ava always hated? Yep. Evelyn happened. I got a text from Evelyn, of all people, the source of so many fights, the woman whose name couldn't be mentioned without Ava having a conniption. Evelyn, hey, I heard about you and Ava. I'm really sorry. If you need someone to talk to, I'm around. I stared at that message. Part of me wondered if talking to Evelyn was crossing some unwritten line, but then I remembered Ava cheated on me with the dude she swore was out of her life while accusing me of having feelings for Evelyn. I didn't owe her shit. It still felt weird, though, like I was playing into Ava's paranoid narrative. There's this strange guilt that lingers even when you're the one who was wronged. But that was old programming from a relationship built on manipulation. Time to delete that buggy code. So I replied, "Thanks, that actually means a lot. Coffee sometime?" Her response came immediately. Name the time and place. We met up that weekend at a cafe downtown where they charge $8 for what is essentially brown water with pretentious latte art. And holy shit, was it eye-opening. Evelyn showed up looking completely normal. Not the man-eating succubus Ava had painted her to be. Just a regular woman in jeans and a sweater with a genuine smile and zero ulterior motives. The first 15 minutes were awkward small talk, both of us dancing around the elephant in the room. Then she just went for it. "So I guess you know Ava and I have history." I nodded, stirring my coffee. "She mentioned you guys had a falling out in college. Never got the full story, though." Evelyn took a deep breath. "Yeah, that's putting it mildly. There's something you should probably know." Then Evelyn revealed something I never knew. Turned out the reason Ava and Evelyn had their nuclear-level falling out was because Ava had stolen Evelyn's boyfriend in college. And guess who that boyfriend was? Leo. The same Leo she'd been cheating on me with. The pieces clicked together like a messed-up puzzle. The Leo she painted as toxic and controlling? He was actually Evelyn's boyfriend first. The Evelyn she claimed was obsessed with taking what was hers? She was the original girlfriend who got cheated on. She always had a thing for him, Evelyn explained. Even when we were friends, she would flirt with him right in front of me. When I'd call her on it, she'd say I was being paranoid and insecure. Sound familiar? "We were roommates," Evelyn continued. "Best friends since freshman year. Then I came home early from a class that got canceled and found them together in our apartment. In my bed." She shook her head. When I confronted her, she somehow twisted it around to make it my fault. Said Leo had been unhappy for months, that they couldn't help their feelings. Classic cheater script. I sat there stunned at how history had literally repeated itself. The rest of the friend group took sides. Some believed her version. Some believed mine. It got ugly. Eventually, I transferred to finish my degree elsewhere. Couldn't handle seeing them together on campus every day. We talked for hours, not just about Ava, but about everything else. Jobs, hobbies, mutual friends we'd been kept apart from. Turns out Evelyn was actually cool as hell. Smart, funny, down to earth. Exactly the type of person Ava would feel threatened by. From that day, we started hanging out more, even with other friends. During all that time, Ava was disappearing little by little. She was still trying to reach out from time to time, but she knew it was useless. About 2 months after the breakup, and after many hangouts, I posted a picture on Instagram, a group of friends at a baseball game. Kai, Carlos and his girlfriend, me and Evelyn sitting next to me. All of us tagged, just smiling, enjoying stadium drinks. Basic, harmless social media content. I didn't post it to trigger Ava. Honestly, I'd started to forget about her most days. It was just a fun afternoon I wanted to share. But Ava will always be Ava. Within 1 hour, my phone exploded with texts from a number I didn't recognize. Unknown, are you and Evelyn serious? Unknown, I knew it. Unknown, you were planning this all along. Unknown, you were screwing her the whole time, weren't you? It took me about 3 seconds to realize it was Ava using a friend's phone. The irony of her accusing me of cheating wasn't lost on me. I blocked the new number and went back to watching Netflix. But that evening, Evelyn called me sounding genuinely freaked out. "Nate, Ava showed up at my place screaming in the hallway. Security made her leave, but now she's blowing up my phone with threats." Now I was pissed. Going after me was one thing. I could handle Ava's crazy. But dragging Evelyn into this? Nope. Evelyn sent me screenshots. They were bad. Not your standard "I hate you" texts. She said she'd mess up my face, follow me to work, Make sure no man ever looks at me again. Claimed she'd destroy Evelyn's career by telling her boss she slept her way into her position. One particularly graphic one about finding her in a dark parking lot. Ava had gone full Fatal Attraction. Don't wait, call the cops. She crossed a line. So that's what we did. We filed a police report, got a temporary restraining order. The whole process. The cops were cool about it. They took copies of all the threatening texts and had us both write statements. I didn't think much would come of it. Restraining orders are just paper. But 2 days later, Evelyn called me in a panic. The police had called her. They'd caught Ava. Cops found her parked outside Evelyn's building with a baseball bat on the seat, just waiting like a psycho. She was arrested for stalking and making criminal threats. They also found a notebook in her car. Evelyn's daily schedule, places she liked, times she was alone. Super stalker level. That sent chills down my spine. Her parents bailed her out because of course they did. They'd been enabling her whole life. But the damage was done. She lost her job, her friends, took a plea deal. No jail time but probation, community service, and mandatory therapy. The irony, if she'd just accepted the breakup and moved on, she'd be fine right now. Probably already with some other unsuspecting dude, playing the victim about her asshole ex who broke her heart. I didn't even have to do anything after the initial apartment swap. She handled the rest of her own destruction all by herself. It was like watching someone set themselves on fire while trying to burn you. Meanwhile, Evelyn and I did grow closer through this whole ordeal. There's nothing like dealing with a mutual crazy ex to bond over. Not dating, just hanging out, sharing war stories, laughing at how we both dodged the same psycho in different years. We're taking it slow, enjoying each other's company, and you know what? It's nice. Really freaking nice. Last I heard, Ava had to move back in with her parents in another state. Leo, of course, wanted nothing to do with her once the fun of sneaking around was gone and she was just a regular desperate ex with legal problems. She even deleted all her social media, probably for the best given her inability to not stalk people online. Me? I'm good. No drama, no guilt trips. I've got peace. And yes, I play on the gaming PC her betrayal paid for. 490 GPU, i9 processor, triple fan cooling, 2TB NVMe, curved 34-inch ultra-wide. Frame smooth as karma. And let me tell you, irony hits different in ultra graphics.